The Winnipeg Jets, a team with such high potential every single season but end up falling short in the playoffs every single year, disappointing their fans every offseason. So where did this all begin, you might ask? Well, in this case, we must travel back to the year 1980. After the WHA folded, the Jets get promoted to the Major League along with the Whalers and Oilers, and they start off the season with a mediocre start. Great start, Jets. Get the sweet taste of having one of the worst records in NHL history and having to go through 3 different head coaches, one of them who quit after 1 win. Congratulations, you finished the season over 500 and made the playoffs for once. Unfortunately, the Blues are here to take you out back. Be shut out in the first round by your WHL brothers in the Oilers. Alright, this year you can make something happen. You hold the record for most 30 goal scorers in a season and have high hopes for the playoffs. You got this. You won a playoff series! Unfortunately, the Oilers want revenge and shut you out again and throw you into the Nile River. General Manager John Ferguson fires longtime coach Barry Long, and Ferguson steps in as head coach himself. They struggle to make it into the playoffs and get eliminated by the Flames. The new head coach is a guy named Dan Maloney, who had a 45-100 win record with the Maple Leafs beforehand. That should fill in the blanks of what's going to happen. So you beat the Flames in the first round again, and then you get shut out by the Oilers. Again. Do I even need to say who you lost to again? You get no playoffs this year, as you are now officially terrible again. Completely rebuild by firing both General Manager Ferguson and Coach Maloney, and this time instead of 1 captain, you now have 3 for big leadership. Even with the rebuild making it to the playoffs, you are beaten by the Oilers again. Alright, time to go all in this season's draft. Starting by trading the longtime team captain for 3 players from Buffalo. But that's not the biggest stars we want to focus on. We only have 1 player in our mind, and his name is Keith Tkachuk. Even with the legend of Keith Tkachuk, you guys are still terrible. The new head coach of John Paddock leads you into a playoff run for what feels like decades, and they lose in the first round again. Well, this time it wasn't the Oilers, oh no. This time it was the Canucks. And that's even more painful. The Canucks are the new Oilers as you lose them in the first round again. Complete and utter trash to the league as you finish last in the league and the team is now in a crisis. Even with the top players of Keith Tkachuk and Alex Zamenhof, you guys failed to make the playoffs by 1 game. After the Nordiques moved to Colorado, you guys are now the smallest Canadian market in the NHL. The NHL no longer wants to pay for the city of Winnipeg and sell it to a Phoenix businessman. Pack your bags, boys, you're going to Phoenix. Or should I say 12 miles away from Phoenix. Congratulations, the trip to Phoenix was a disaster and the team is now bankrupt. So what does this mean for the Jets, you might ask? Well, for this we must go back to the mid-90s. The city of Atlanta, a city who has only seen a championship in the form of baseball with the Braves. As for the Falcons and the Hawks, they have never even come close to winning a championship. The NHL feels bad for the city, so they give Atlanta their own team. True, the Flames played there in the 70s and they failed, but this time it's different. This time, the city of Atlanta will see the true power of the Atlanta Thrashers. Atlanta face plants into the ice with a last place opening season. But hey, at least you kept your first round pick in Patrick Stefan. Yeah. This time you pick a better pick in Danny Heatley, and even better is that you didn't finish last place this time, but are still terrible. So, at least you're improving a bit. It turns out that improving you felt was actually hemorrhoids and you finished in last place again. Captain Danny Heatley crashes Ferrari in a serious accident. He can't play this season, but ends up making a full recovery. However, there's a worse tragedy we must discuss that is truly devastating. Their center, Danny Snyder, was also in that car during the accident. Unfortunately, he didn't make it and passed away 6 days later. I have no other words for this other than, may you rest in peace, buddy. Kovalchuk is a top star for you guys, as he scores 41 goals in the season. Unfortunately, you don't even come close to making the playoffs. Brian Heatley is still traumatized by the tragic accident and demands a trade to the city of Ottawa, who, by the way, was a key contender to their Stanley Cup final run. Oh dear God, you guys are actually achieving something for once in your lives. For the first time in franchise history, you guys are going to the Stanley Cup playoffs. And you get swept by the Rangers, the best in the Southeast Division, and you embarrass yourself so hard in the first round. Did I also mention this is the only time you guys will ever make the playoffs? Welcome to hell, Atlanta. Starting the season off with an 0-6 record and firing your head coach and becoming a laughingstock of the league. At least you hosted the All-Star game, so at least that's cool. Owner Steve Belkin is tired of the team and heads to court to decide the team's fate in the future. This could be a sign of the end. It also doesn't help that the team still sucks at everything. Oh, you almost made the playoffs, but just a few points short. But hey, at least you got a 4th overall pick in Evander Kane. Well, that went well. But let's not forget you traded Andrew Ladd in that draft as well. Need I remind you, he was also a key contender to a Stanley Cup run, this time in Chicago. It is over. The years of pain and failure in Atlanta is over. The Thrashers are now relocating to the city of Winnipeg. You know, I feel bad for the Thrashers. They would have achieved a lot more if they put better ownership and coaching in the team. And a part of me still wishes they were still with us today. Just like the Nordiques and Whalers, they will always have a legacy in my heart. May you bring hope to the city of Winnipeg now. You guys are still technically the Atlanta Thrashers because just like the Thrashers, they are mediocre. But you know what, that was just the first season back in years, and they can get it back together. After all, the NHL is in a lockout and they can regroup and go all out. Throw an exorbitant amount of money at Evander Kane. This won't doubt be a scar in our franchise. I may have lied about that. Hey, this Zach Bogasian guy seems decent. Let's sign him to a 7-year deal until he's in his early 30s. Oh hey, Blake Wheeler, you get an extension. And you Little, you also get an extension. Because us Jets are going to the Stanley Cup. That cup ended up being a red Solo cup in a dumpster next to a homeless guy. Oh my god, it's happening. For the first time since the 90s, the Jets are going to the playoffs. Heck, they might win their first playoff game since the 90s as well, as they lead against the Ducks of all teams. This is their time. Win a game for once. What do you mean they blew a 2-goal lead? Are you kidding me? Well, at least you can beat them in other games. They seriously got swept by the Ducks? I mean, it's one thing to lose to them in the series, but swept? Now that's just embarrassing in the city of Winnipeg. After that horrendous playoff games and the start of the season, Andrew Ladd is now officially gone as captain. In fact, here in Chicago, you can have 2 of other teams as well as Marco Dano and a first-round pick. He becomes a huge bust for Winnipeg, as for the 3 years he played for Winnipeg, he managed to get, drumroll please, 22 points. Well hey, at least you got that first round pick in Patrick Lane. Spoiler alert, that doesn't help you in the regular season. Oh look, they made it back to the playoffs, hoop-de-doo. But just go ahead and lose in the first round like always.
And he'll play it to the line, Morrow scores!
Wait, they actually won a game? And the first round for once? Oh well, they were facing the Predators, you don't even stand a chance. You guys did it. The 3rd round of the playoffs. For once in a franchise, the team finally sees hope, not just for the playoffs, but for the team itself. Now go on, boys. Round 3 is waiting for you. The team falls apart to the Vegas Golden Knights. Needless to say that this was their inaugural season. Okay, look, you may have lost in the 3rd round last season, but hopes are high for you guys. Heck, they even make the playoffs again, facing off the Blues of all teams. This is gonna be a piece of cake. What do you mean they only won 2 games? You lost in the first round again? What is wrong with you? Oh, did I mention those same Blues went on to win the Stanley Cup? This was their first cup they have ever won in their franchise. And guess who hasn't won a Stanley Cup yet? That's right, Winnipeg. You. But hey, just get past that as your season is looking very promising and possibly more than first round contenders maybe. There's only one thing that can stop you now. A pandemic. The world has stopped spinning and everyone stays inside for months with no hockey. But you can crawl back into the bubble and go forward with the playoffs. And look, it's their Canadian rivalry of the Flames. This is gonna be easy. Okay, look, that was just a warm-up game. You're still rusty, that's all. Next game you can beat them.
Forbert watching Kyle Connor. Peanut scores!
See? Why did I tell you? You got this, no problem. Now take the other 2 games. Really? You're gonna do this again? Yep, just like Jets fashion, they lose in the first round again. See? Brian Little is doing things. Oh wait, hockey gods, no! Don't do it! No! Lord have mercy on this team. And now Patrick Lane is also gone. You guys are screwed. How did you guys make the playoffs? I thought you guys were dead. But Edmonton is a pretty tricky opponent now. I must now say rest in peace because they have a 3-0 series lead and you know the Jets will blow it. Just play the clip.
Oh, golden opportunity. Kyle Connor shoots and he scores!
The Jets can shut out teams now? The Canadians use the Uno reverse card and this time they sweep you. You see how this team can't accomplish things? I mean, they try, yes, but they still can't get anywhere. In my opinion, the start of the fall was when they originally moved to Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix itself was a stain in the pants of the league for years, with the low attendance, underachieving players, and bankruptcy. How could you possibly move past that? But maybe one day, the Jets will no longer be the Jets.